Welcome, survivors, burnout community, and those just interested. It's Kelly Bubolz, trainer, author, speaker, and your burnout prevention mentor. Burnout is not taboo. It's our reality in this chaotic, fast-paced world. But we're not going to let it drive the narrative to our stories. We're going to do something about it. So let's dig in. You can't control who you work with. We all know that. But you can control how much of your energy they take with them. Toxic coworker is a highly searched workplace search term, and it's brought up in workforce energy management programs often. How do you deal with a toxic coworker? How do you deal with a toxic boss? This emotional drain comes at a real energy cost. You know that feeling. You know that feeling when you walk into the room and that one person's in that meeting. Or you walk into the room and you just feel the mood, right? You know that this next hour, this next 30 minutes is going to be draining. Most people will respond in one of two ways. Overfunctioning, right? They're going to overdo it, overcommit, be over-responsible, try to fix everything. Or they're going to withdraw, silence, hardly participate, disengagement. Both of these are extremely draining. The emotional drain within this comes from the chronic negativity that you're around, right? It feels like you never can get ahead, like why try? The chaos created behavior of always being in reaction mode and never actually moving things forward or taking control of what you can control. And the overtalkers or the attention grabbers that when you feel like you could make a move, take a step in the right direction, that they suck the energy. So let's talk about some of this energy drain. We need to identify where is the real drain, because it comes from the behavior, not necessarily the person. Let me say that again, because when we do this in programs, it's like an aha moment, a shock, because we associate certain people, certain names, certain positions with automatically an emotional response. But it's not that person. It's not the Karen. It's not the Paul or Kevin or whoever we're calling the people that we don't like right now. It's the behavior that we don't like. So naming and identifying that behavior that you don't like. Is it because they're real short with people? Is it because that they always see the negativity in things? Is it because when you're trying to work through things, they have to identify every hurdle and challenge? What is the specific behavior that's draining the energy? Then let's clarify your character. Your character in play matters. Are you rescuing? Are you being over-responsible and that's making other people under-responsible? Are you appeasing to everyone to just shut down the meeting, shut down the conflict that's happening? Are you allowing people to take your time, take your energy? You're absorbing all of that, and that's why it's draining. You don't have any boundaries. You're the yes person. I had someone in a program recently, and she was talking about that in her last job, she ended up just taking on tasks. She was the yes person. It more and more ended up on her plate, and then when that got to be too much, there was an opening at a different location, so she moved to that location, and it started out pretty basic job description, and then over time, more got added. And she looks at me and she says, I'm starting to realize that I'm the problem. Yep, I think so. Because you don't have boundaries. And when you keep saying yes to everything, you're saying no to nothing. And now you end up with 6 jobs. And she was absorbing all these roles that they didn't think that they needed to fill because the function was being completed by her on overtime, on those late night asks. So clarifying her character, the hero, really helped her see that she needed to set more strong boundaries instead of saying yes to everything. So we'd named the behavior, right? Not the person. We clarified the character you're playing in this. There's a contribution there, right? You're putting some energy out there and people are responding to it. Now it's time to set some micro boundaries. Micro boundaries aren't these big transformational conversations. They're time caps on what you're going to spend time on and time you're not going to spend on it. Redirects. Hey, I can't do that for you, but I know someone who can. Or I can do this for you, but let's see who else can get this handled, right? So you're redirecting some of that you shouldn't be doing or that your role doesn't own. Or you're giving it space. Let me think on that and get back to you. Or I'm not responding to emails every 5 minutes. I'm going to let them sit if they're not emergencies, and maybe someone else will even take care of that. So the third step in setting those micro boundaries is going to help you reset that give and receive energy cycle that you might be giving more than you're receiving. The fourth step is using some of those reframes, that neutral language that I was just talking about, and have some scripts ready. Scripts like, here's what I can do, right? So you're not taking on all of it, you're taking on a portion of it. Here's what I'm not able to do. Identifying things that you know you're not capable of or you don't have capacity for, and you can already reroute them to a different direction. So it's not saying not my job, not in my pay grade, those type of toxic type of language items. It's saying this is an energy neutral zone. I don't own it, you don't own it, let's figure it out together, but it doesn't mean I have to own it all by the end of this conversation. So saying things like, here's what I can do, or here's what I'm able to do, let's see who else can get this handled, is going to guide them out where you don't own everything for everyone. And then what are you going to do post interaction? We discount this and we just move on to the next thing. You might have a conversation, it didn't go well, there's some conflict, and you just move on. But that emotional labor and load is still sitting within you. So what are you going to do to help yourself reset and release that stress cycle? I always buried my stress. I buried it deep down, and not surprising, my digestive system was the first thing to go in my burnout crash. So this post-incident reset is really important to release that stress cycle. Otherwise, it is just staying within you and showing up in different ways in your body, aches, pains. Mine was my digestive system. So you could do a quick breath work practice. You could go for a walk, right? Movement. You could do a pattern interrupt. So I'm not going to jump right into the next work task. I'm going to write some things out, my action items for the afternoon, or what went well in that conversation. Right? I'm releasing the stress in some form or another by interrupting that pattern from building. So by identifying the behaviors that are really draining, not the person, by identifying our character and play and the energy we're putting out there, setting those micro boundaries, redoing our language scripts so that we're not absorbing every task that comes to our desk, and then releasing the stress cycle. And that post-interaction reset is going to help you manage your energy a little bit from day to day and navigate those interactions with those toxic coworkers or toxic bosses, because we can't change other people, but we can change our response to the stress of it.
I know you're not lazy. Most people in burnout are high performers, those serving others before themselves. Don't discount this step today, the action in which you focus on your self-growth. Piecing together the puzzle is half the journey. Rediscovering yourself, energy, and establishing new habits is the other. Do not underestimate the untapped inner strength inside you. Explore more resources on my website to move from zombie mode back to liveliness. See you soon.